Chapter 151, She couldn't even dote on him enough. The little bun had spent so much effort preparing a birthday present and surprise for her. He must have been so excited in the beginning, only to experience cold loneliness when the day came, followed by panic when he couldn't reach her. How painful must the whole process have been to him. Upon thinking that, Ning Xi felt as though a knife was being twisted in her heart. She hugged little treasure, not wanting to let him go for even a second. Lu Tingxiao didn't want to disturb the two of them, but for the sake of that small trace of brotherly affection left in him, he still issued a reminder, Ning Xi, ask little treasure to recall those robots. Oh right, it was only then that Ning Xi remembered that there was a horde of fierce robots revolting and tearing down the residence. Lu Jingli's arm was still stuck in their hands. Thus, she quickly spoke to the little bun, darling, could you call them back? Little treasure nodded. He then turned to face the screen and his stubby little fingers flew nimbly across the keyboard. Ning Xi gasped in amazement as she watched. With adoration written all over her face, she exclaimed, darling, how are you this clever? I thought you only knew how to draw. You're really super clever. I spent the past few years studying everything I could like a maniac. However, this was the only thing I couldn't learn for the life of me. What the heck is coding, C and C++? They're practically the stuff of my nightmares. You're only 5 years old, yet you're already such a pro. You're a genius. Even though the little bun's expression was still wooden, the light in his eyes had brightened considerably. However, Lu Tingxiao standing off to the side couldn't continue watching. He sighed gently, Ning Xi, you shouldn't be praising him in this situation. Right. Ning Xi finally remembered that the little bun had caused a huge mess. She scratched her head awkwardly and looked at Lu Tingxiao, are you going to ask me to tell him not to do this again? He really has followed through with what he promised me previously. Although he doesn't go on hunger strikes or throw things around anymore, he turned to more sophisticated methods in the end. What if he comes up with an even more sophisticated plan next time if I tell him not to do this again? Lu Tingxiao, that was actually quite possible, considering this was little treasure they were talking about. Ning Xi spread out her hands in helplessness, in short, I think it's better not to scold him. Truthfully, she was being selfish. She didn't want to criticize the little bun given the circumstances today. She loved him so dearly and she couldn't even dote on him enough. How could she bear to say any harsh words to him? Thankfully, Lu Tingxiao didn't force the issue in the end. For the most part, his principles were as solid as floating clouds when he was with Ning Xi. The three of them rode the golf cart back to the entrance of the residence. Ning Xi stared in astonishment at the magnificent scene before her. The trouble-making robots had formed 2 neat columns lining the path, as if welcoming them home. Pub future ads. The only mood killer was anguished howling coming from the side. Bro, why did you guys take so long? My arm was freaking dislocated while waiting for you. It's just a dislocated arm, do you really need to cry like that? Ning Xi rolled her eyes and jumped out. She pushed down his arm, giving it a tug and lift, which resulted in a pop. Ow! Lu Jingli shrieked like a pig getting slaughtered. Ning Xi patted his arm, stop howling. It's healed already. Try it out. Hey! Lu Jingli blinked and moved his arm a little. It really was fine now. However, he still muttered, unconvinced, you wouldn't have set it back crooked, right? No way. I'm very experienced at fixing dislocated arms. Ning Xi replied with total confidence. Doubt was written all over Lu Jingli's face, may I ask how you got so much experience with this sort of thing? Ning Xi, because I used to fight with Zhang Muye quite often. His arm got dislocated quite a few times, and I always realigned it for him. Lu Jingli. Are you sure you were fighting and you weren't just beating him up one-sidedly? He was really worried for his bro's future. Was his bro going to become a victim of domestic abuse in the future? Forget it, what was he worrying about? Even if his bro was abused, his bro would definitely receive it happily. Chapter 152, Switching on Shadow Mode. Ever since Ning Xi had come back, the little bun seemed to have switched on his shadow mode. He would follow her wherever she walked, not willing to let even an inch of distance separate them. In the living room downstairs, Liu Jingli had also switched on his shadow mode. He was following wherever Liu Tingxiao walked. Bro, brother, dear bro. You guys. What did the two of you do the whole night? Liu Tingxiao hugged a cup of freshly brewed coffee and sat on the sofa. We chatted. Liu Jingli choked and looked like a disappointed puppy who hadn't gotten a bone. All right, just take it as if I never asked. How is the task I entrusted to you progressing? Liu Tingxiao asked. Liu Jingli immediately switched back to his proper mode and spoke grimly, it's already in progress. Within a month, Zhu Xiongqing's crown real estate will definitely be erased from this capital. What about Ning Xi's matter? Liu Jingli tidied his hair before speaking up, because the production crew stopped the news from spreading, I wasn't able to get the news in time. As for now, the one who set this whole ploy up definitely wouldn't let the news be stifled, so it's starting to spread on the internet. What's worse is that the prop director personally testified in his interview that it was Ning Xi who had bribed him to change the prop. This isn't just a matter of public opinion now. If Ning Swaluo files a case, Ning Xi might even be taken by the police for investigation. An endless vicious aura rose on Liu Tingxiao's face. It suddenly seemed like he was sitting on a great demon king's throne made of bones instead of a plain ordinary sofa. Enunciating each word clearly in an icy tone, I'd like to see who would dare to do so. No no no. Sister-in-law has you to support her, who would even dare to touch a single hair on her head? Liu Jingli hurriedly tried to calm his rage before stating positively, bro, just rest assured. I've already gotten someone to install wiretaps and spy cameras in that prop director's home. He'll definitely try to contact the person behind this in this period of time. There's no need to worry that we won't be able to get any evidence. We'll see who gets arrested in the end. Dissatisfaction showed on Liu Tingxiao's expression and he tapped the side table with his finger, inefficient. Liu Jingli couldn't accept that and grumbled, this method is so good. How is it inefficient? Liu Tingxiao brought out a gun from under the television stand, then threw it in front of him. Pub future ads. The corner of Liu Jingli's mouth twitched, damn. Isn't this too simple and violent? There's no skill in this method. As the two were speaking, footsteps sounded from above them. Without a change in expression, Liu Tingxiao placed the gun back and looked up with a gentle gaze at the newcomer. Did little treasure fall asleep? Yes, I finally got him to sleep. After replying, Ning Xi hurriedly said with an anxious expression, Liu Tingxiao, I have some urgent business and I need to go out for a while. I've already left a note for little treasure and I charged my phone. You can contact me at any time. I'll come back in 3 hours at the max. Alright, I won't say any more, bye. After saying so, she flew like the breeze and left. Liu Jingli rubbed his chin, bro, where's sister-in-law going in such a rush? Liu Tingxiao stared in the direction the girl had left with an inscrutable gaze before urging Liu Jingli, find someone to follow her. There was definitely something complicated behind this, since Ning Xi had left at this kind of time. If it wasn't good for little treasure to be left alone at home, he would definitely have gone himself. There's no need to find someone else, I'll go myself. Liu Jingli cheerfully accepted the mission on the spot. Liu Jingli returned home to pick out a more low-key black car, then followed closely behind Ning Xi, who was driving on the roads like a hurricane on her motorbike. After 20 minutes, he stopped at the small apartment that Ning Xi used to live in. While monitoring the movements in the area, he reported the situation to Liu Tingxiao in real time. 153 Big Sister, calm down. What if I say no? Ning Xi looked at him with a half-smile. Zhang Jiang's eyes wandered between her chest and her buttocks pervertedly, and he rubbed his chin. If you have no money, then we can figure something else out. If Big Beauty Ning can sleep with me for a night, I think I could give you some useful information. The implications were clear: if you want a confession, give me money, or your body. In fact, for someone as deceitful as Zhuang Jiang, even if he got what he wanted, he still wouldn't confess, and by then she would have lost both her body and money. At the same time, downstairs in the car, looking at what was happening on the monitor, Liu Jingli was reminding his brother via his headphone nervously, "Brother, calm down. Don't get agitated. You need to calm down. You have to be gentle with my little laptop. I have hundreds of gigabytes of treasure on my hard drive. Go upstairs, now." The command came through the headphone. "Yes, yes, yes. I'm going right now." On the monitor, Zhang Jiang was getting closer and closer to Ning Xi. Liu Jingli held his laptop in his arms as he started to run wildly. At the same time, Zhang Jiang walked over to Ning Xi's chair and placed his hands on the arms of the chair, his breathing becoming more excited. "Well? Isn't this a good deal? Not only do you get what you want, you can also have fun." Ning Xi lowered her eyes, her expression hard to see in the dark, and from her cherry lips came a light mocking laugh. In the next second, Zhang Jiang felt something cold and hard pressing against his waist. He looked down, and his face immediately turned white. The thing pressed against him was a black gun. You! Zhang Jiang's first reaction was to flee. At that moment, Ning Xi's dark, cold laugh came from behind him. "That's right, run. Try it, and we'll see whether you're faster, or my bullets are." Zhang Jiang's sweat fell like rain. He turned his body stiffly, and laughed in a relaxed tone. "Little girl, you really had me going. Trying to fool me with a toy gun? Shoot. That is, if you have the skill. Here, right here." Ning Xi moved her fingers slightly, and with a small kaba sound, she screwed on a black, tube-shaped muffler on the gun, and fired. With a pu sound, a bullet grazed Zhang Jiang's arm as it flew past and cut a line of glaring sparks across the floor. All this happened in less than 3 seconds. Zhang Jiang covered his stinging arm and fell to his knees with a thump. "Sister! Big sister, calm down. That's a real gun. It's not a joke." Confession. Ning Xi threw a recording pen at him, and took a look at the time on her phone, her face showing that she had run out of patience. Little Treasure was sleeping at home, he would definitely worry again if he woke up and didn't see her. She needed to get back to him quickly. I'll do it. I'm recording it now." Zhang Jiang rolled over to grab the recording pen and press the button himself to start recording. It wasn't Ning Xi. Ning Xi wasn't the one who bribed me. It was someone else who asked me to tamper with the prop. But I don't know who that person is. I received an anonymous email with all the instructions in it, and 10,000 yuan was deposited directly into my account. They said that I would receive another 10,000 after it was done. Zhang Jiang watched Ning Xi carefully as he spoke. The woman opposite him looked extremely impatient and dark. Her eyes were red, and her fingers patted the gun barrel neurotically. She completely looked like a murdering psychopath, and just looking at her made his hair stand on end. Chapter 154, Older Sister, please calm down. What if I don't agree? Ning Xi looked at him with a faint smile. Zhang Jiang's wretched gaze alternated between her bust and buttocks before he rubbed his chin and said, "If you don't have money, then there's still another way. If Miss Great Beauty Ning is willing to sleep with me once, then I might even be able to reveal some interesting hints." This was clearly hinting to her that she had to pay up or sleep with him if she wanted his statement. In reality, with Zhang Jiang's deceitful personality, there was a great chance that he wouldn't give the statement even after satisfying his requests. By then, it would likely be a loss on both fronts for Ning Xi. At the same time, in the car downstairs. Pub Future ads. Seeing such a scene from the cameras, Liu Jingli was anxiously reminding his brother over the call, "Bro, calm down. Don't get too stirred up. Please don't get too excited. Treat my little lappy gently. I have a few hundred gigabytes of treasures in my hard disk. Go upstairs. Right now." A command rang out over the earpiece. "Yes, yes, yes. I'm going right now." Seeing that Zhang Jiang had already started walking closer to Ning Xi, Liu Jingli carried his laptop and started sprinting. At the same time, Zhang Jiang walked in front of Ning Xi's chair and placed his arms on the armrests. Even his breathing had quickened. "How is it? Isn't this deal worth it? You get what you want, and you can even enjoy yourself." Ning Xi lowered her gaze. Her expression was hidden in the shadows and couldn't be seen clearly. A light sigh spilled forth from her dark red lips. In the next second, Zhang Jiang felt something cold and hard press against his waist. Looking down, his face immediately turned pale. It was the pitch-dark barrel of a gun pressing against him. You, Zhang Jiang's first reaction was to run. Pub Future ads. Pub Future ads. However, Ning Xi's sinisterly cold voice rang out from behind him, "Go ahead and run. Let's see if you can run faster than my bullets." Zhang Jiang's sweat poured down like rain. He turned about stiffly and smiled in a relaxed manner, "Girl, I was almost scared by you. Trying to use a toy gun to trick me? Then shoot. If you have the guts, then shoot. Come on, shoot over here." Ning Xi's fingers moved slightly as she installed a silencer onto the barrel with a click. She then pressed on the trigger. With a pft, the bullet grazed against Zhang Jiang's arm, then scratched out a line of eye-piercing sparks on the floor. When she finished taking action, not even 3 seconds had passed. Zhang Jiang held onto the wound burning painfully on his arm, and knelt to the ground with a thump. "Older sister. Oh great sister. Please calm down. That's a real gun. It's not for playing around." "Your statement." Ning Xi tossed her recorder pen over. She looked at the time on her phone with an extremely impatient expression. Little Treasure was still sleeping at home. He would definitely be worried if he woke up early and she wasn't there, so she had to hurry back to accompany Little Treasure. "I'll do it, I'll do it. I'll record it right now." Zhang Jiang hurriedly crawled over to pick up the recorder pen. He turned it on and started recording all by himself. "It wasn't Ning Xi. It wasn't Ning Xi who bribed me. There's someone else who paid me to tamper with the sword. But I don't know who it was. I received an anonymous email and the sender just told me to execute the instructions in the email, and even sent me $100,000 as a deposit. They said that they would give me another $100,000 after I finished the task." Zhang Jiang carefully stole glances at Ning Xi while speaking. The woman in front of him had an extremely impatient and dark expression. Her pupils were slightly red as her fingers caressed the barrel of the gun. She looked like a mad, homicidal maniac. His hairs were about to stand from looking at her appearance. Chapter 155, Too Savage. Liu Jingli was about to burst through the door and save her, but when he saw that the situation had been completely turned around, he froze on the spot and stared blankly. Single-handedly. God damn it, she actually brought a gun. Holy shit! If I'm not wrong, that's actually a Beretta 92F. Where did she get that? Liu Jingli looked incredulous. After he finished speaking, a tragic thought flashed through his mind. His second chance today at being a hero and saving the damsel in distress had just died a premature death. Inside the room, Zhang Jiang stared rigidly at the gun in Ning Xi's hand. He was deathly afraid that she would open fire without saying a word again. She hadn't even given him a chance to react. She was too cruel. I. Everything I said was the truth. There wasn't a single lie. Otherwise, may lightning strike me on the spot. Ning Xi didn't speak, and it wasn't clear if she actually believed him. She spun the gun in her hands until it almost became an indistinct blur. My great ancestor! Be careful not to accidentally set it off. Zhang was about to pee his pants from watching her. Trembling with fear, he asked hurriedly, If you want me to lie and testify that it was that person, that it was Ning Swaluo who paid me to do it. I can do that. Without conditions. I'll do everything you want unconditionally. The instigator can be whoever you want it to be. Lies? What she wanted was conclusive proof. Ning Xi pointed the gun barrel at his chin and spoke, give me the account number that the other party used to wire you the money and all the emails they sent as well. Okay. They're on my computer, I'll go grab it right now. However, the emails are anonymous and even the bank account is an anonymous overseas account. They're probably useless even if I give them to you. As he spoke, Zhang fished out a laptop from underneath his blanket. Next, he showed her the other party's emails and wire transfer details. Ning Xi glanced over everything. After confirming that there were no issues, she said, this computer is mine now. Do you have any objections? Zhang shook his head violently, no. My great ancestor, please go ahead and take it. Take whatever you want to take. Ning Xi sneered. Ha! He had gone from calling her big sister to great ancestor. With a scoundrel like this, even if you tried to reason with him, he would never listen. If you tried to negotiate with him, he would be insatiable, give an inch, and he'll take a mile. If you tried to play tricks, he would become even more cunning. Therefore, the only method left was to counter violence with violence. This was actually her first time using this gun after returning to this country. It was impossible not to be nervous, but at least she was skilled at acting. As long as she pretended that she was acting, she could calm down instantly. She had casually chosen to play the role of a homicidal maniac. It looked like she had gotten a pretty good result. Acting was her beloved profession, as well as her way of protecting herself. Then, great ancestor, is there anything else you need? Zhang nervously gulped when he saw that she still didn't have any intention of leaving. With a sharp gaze, Ning Xi sized him up as if thinking about something, yet. Let me think for a bit. Think about what? Of course I'm thinking about, whether I should kill you to eliminate any witnesses. What if you tell someone else that I forced you to give your confession after this? Ning Xi used a very natural tone and she looked extremely serious. Zhang nearly knelt in front of her as he lost all strength in his legs, that's impossible. I wouldn't dare to do that even if you gave me nerves of steel. He was speaking the truth. It was in his nature to bully the weak and fear the strong. This time, Ning Xi had scared him out of his wits. He really never expected that this seemingly weak and delicate young lady would have such a terrifying side to her. He didn't even dare to look directly into her dark and sinister eyes, in fear that he would have nightmares at night. Ning Xi laughed lightly and used the gun barrel to pat his cheek, don't worry. I won't kill you, I'll even give you money. Chapter 156, Where are your hands going? Zhang's first reaction was to beg for forgiveness. I don't want it, I don't want it. My great ancestor, please spare me. In the past, I wasn't enlightened so I spoke some nonsense. How could I even dare to ask for your money? Who said that I'd give you money? Ning Xi threw a kick. After rolling over and standing up, Zhang wore an innocent expression, but didn't you just say? He was about to go crazy from all the abuse he was getting from this person's mood swings. Ning Xi cast him a cold glance, stay at home and wait for me to contact you. As long as you cooperate with me, there'll be money in it for you. Otherwise. Ah? She still wanted to contact him? Hadn't he already give her everything she wanted? Weren't they agreed on never crossing paths again? Why was she still hounding him? He didn't want any money. He preferred to stay alive. Zhang Zhang had a lot of unspoken complaints, but all he could do was agree to her demands and thank Ning Xi 1,000 times for her kindness and grace as he sent her out. After going downstairs, Ning Xi put on her helmet and started up the engine before speeding straight towards the Lu residence. When she arrived at the Lu residence, she was actually an hour earlier than the time she had agreed on with Lu Tingxiao. When she entered the living room, Lu Tingxiao was just as she had left him. He was still sitting on the living room couch, looking as if he hadn't even budged at all. Ning Xi didn't think much of it. She asked immediately, "Lu Tingxiao, I'm back. Did darling little treasure wake up?" "He hasn't." "All right, that's good. I'm going up to check on him." "Hold on." Lu Tingxiao suddenly called out to stop her. What's up?" For some reason, Ning Xi felt like Lu Tingxiao's mood wasn't quite right. "Where did you go?" Lu Tingxiao's tone was calm and even, yet it felt like there was something dark hidden beneath the surface. Ning Xi instinctively sensed the danger and responded hastily, "I went out to handle some personal matters, that's all. Everything's already been settled. I'll be going upstairs now." She tried to slip away right after she finished speaking, but an arm suddenly reached over. A second later, caught off guard, Ning Xi's body was pulled with some force and she fell onto the couch. More accurately, she fell into Lu Tingxiao's embrace. Ning Xi was shocked. What surprised her even more was, "Lu Tingxiao. Why you? What are you doing? Where are your hands going?" Lu Tingxiao completely ignored her and continued to touch her all over. Pub Future ads. "Hey, I'm going to fight back if you continue like this. You can't blame me if I hurt you then. Then do it." Ning Xi's nerves were practically about to collapse. Lu Tingxiao. What are you trying to do? You've already figured out that I can't make a move against you, haven't you? Lu Tingxiao stared at her expressionlessly. "Why can't you make a move against me?" Because. That's right. Why? If it was anyone else, her first reaction would have been to dole out a generous beating. While Ning Xi was racking her brains to come up with a reply to that question, Lu Tingxiao's hands landed dangerously upon an object behind the waistline of her pants. Ning Xi's eyes immediately flashed. She wanted to stop him, but it was already too late. The gun that was hidden behind her waist appeared in Lu Tingxiao's hands in an instant. Lu Tingxiao immediately threw the gun onto the coffee table in front of them. The usual exceedingly gentle expression he used towards her had turned as cold as frost. He spit out a word like he was shooting a blade of ice. "Explain." Ning Xi immediately felt like she had been caught red-handed cheating on a test by the teacher. Her face paled and she fiddled with her fingers. With great effort, she put on a carefree expression and spoke, "Hee, it's just a fake. It's a toy gun that I bought to play around with." "Is that so? Does a toy gun need a silencer?" Lu Tingxiao cast her a sideways glance and picked up the gun. He pointed it directly at a palm-sized, white jade flower vase sitting in the corner and opened fire. The flower vase immediately shattered into tiny pieces. The calm expression that Ning Xi had been using all her strength to keep on her face also shattered, just like the flower vase. Chapter 157, Her flattery failed. The air was dead silent. After a long moment, Ning Xi swallowed with great difficulty and tried to change the topic by running her mouth off. "Haha. Big boss, your shooting skills are amazing. Impressive, impressive. You're just a little too wasteful. That vase must have been pretty expensive, right?" Lu Tingxiao's eyes were cold. "If you don't want to speak of it, you don't have to." Ning Xi's head drooped downwards in a disheartened manner. "But you look like you're going to break off all ties with me if I don't confess everything. You're not being honest at all." Other than confessing everything, was there a second option for her? Ning Xi sighed and could only choose to explain the sequence of events to him. Didn't I tell you before that something went wrong with the prop and I accidentally hurt Ning Swallow? Right now, the prop master is insisting on saying that I bribed him to switch the props. Isn't that forcing me into a dead end? If he sticks to his confession, it won't just be my career that will be ruined, I'll even have to go to jail. Lu Tingxiao looked at her calmly, so. Ning Xi coughed lightly and stalled, so I went to force that guy to speak the truth. Seeing her nonchalant attitude, storm clouds were gathering on Lu Tingxiao's face. Ning Xi, do you know how dangerous it was for you to do that? As a girl. Ning Xi covered her head and said, I know. But wasn't I forced into it? You don't know what that Zhangqiang is like, he's a scoundrel. I can only use simple violence to deal with that kind of person. I've said before that you can look for me if you need any help. You chose to use such a dangerous method, before even coming to ask me for help. Lu Tingxiao's eyes were filled with grave disappointment. That gaze unexpectedly made her heart clench in pain. This was the first time Lu Tingxiao had gotten so angry with her. Ning Xi's face was full of anxiety. No, it's not like that. Finally, feeling like she was going to have a headache, she sighed, I'm just used to it. Pub future ads. Used to solving everything by herself. Used to not relying on others. The two of them sunk into silence again. But, how did you know that I had a gun on me? Ning Xi abruptly recalled this matter and asked suspiciously. The smell. Lu Tingxiao answered coldly. So that's how. Was it the smell of gunpowder? I didn't realize that even your sense of smell is so strong, big boss. He. Lu Tingxiao's expression remained as cold as ice, the kind that had been frozen for 1,000 years. Her flattery had failed. Ning Xi had an expression of complete helplessness. Lu Tingxiao, it's not that I didn't want to ask you for help. There's just no need for you to personally take action for small matters like these. Isn't it like using a sledgehammer to kill a fly? However, right now, I do have something that I really need your help with. You really have to help me this time, please. I kept thinking about it, and you're the only one I can turn to for this. So even if you're not willing to help me, I'll definitely keep disturbing you. This time, although his expression remained frosty, he finally looked her in the eye. Speak. Ning Xi heaved a sigh of relief and hurriedly spoke up. It's like this. Although I finally got Zhangqiang's confession, and the emails and bank transfer details from the mastermind, all this evidence can only clear my innocence, but I won't be able to find the mastermind. It wouldn't be very gentlemanly of me if I didn't take revenge for this grudge. Letting the mastermind off so easily would be such a waste. So I was thinking, is there any way that you could decode the mastermind's account details and IP address? Big boss, it must have been thanks to your genes that darling little treasure is already so clever at such a young age. So Big Boss must be even more impressive at computers and such. I'm sure you have some way to do that, right? Chapter 158, Move further away from me. Right. Ning Xi put her hands together in a pleading pose, a hopeful expression on her face and stars in her eyes. On one hand, it was to butter up Lu Tingxiao. On the other hand, she really did need his help. Lu Tingxiao remained silent for 3 seconds before finally speaking the golden word, yes. Really? You really have a solution? Ning Xi was so excited she almost jumped into the air. Then how long do you need? 1. Lu Tingxiao was about to say 1 hour, but he suddenly changed his mind, 1 night. That fast? That's great. Ning Xi was delighted over the great news and hurriedly pulled out a laptop from her bag. This is the laptop I took from Zhangqiang. Do you need anything else? I'll help you prepare them. There's no need. Lu Tingxiao stood up and headed upstairs while speaking. Ning Xi eagerly followed closely after him. Upon reaching the study, the perceptive Ning Xi ran to help Lu Tingxiao pull out his chair, then placed the laptop on top of the desk before Lu Tingxiao. She then jogged off to pour a glass of water for him. Lu Tingxiao shot a casual glance at her before sitting down in the chair. He then took out his own laptop and brought out a cable to connect the two laptops. After scheming over the evidence she had mentioned, he opened a file and entered a string of complicated-looking code into a window on his laptop screen. Ning Xi leaned on the desk and moved closer to look out of curiosity, but of course, it looked like gibberish to her. She held a completely dazed expression. Although she couldn't understand any of it, whatever he was doing still seemed pretty awesome. While Lu Tingxiao was typing, he heard light breathing near his ear, so he abruptly stopped moving his fingers and started frowning. What happened? Is anything wrong? Ning Xi immediately asked tensely. Lu Tingxiao's tone was slightly cool. Move further away from me. She was leaning too close, it was affecting his concentration. Okay, Ning Xi shriveled up like an eggplant in winter and lowered her head. In a sad and dismal manner, she shifted to the furthest corner of the room and sat on the sofa there. Seeing the girl's pitiful appearance, Lu Tingxiao almost spoke up to comfort her, but he held back in the end. Pub future ads. Ning Xi hugged a cushion in her arms and quietly watched Lu Tingxiao's face from the side profile as he was working seriously. She inwardly savored the sight. It was true that men were the most handsome when they were working earnestly. Momentarily, only the quiet sound of fingers tapping on the keyboard could be heard in the study. Ning Xi sat there and struggled with her thoughts for a long while before she finally couldn't resist and spoke up. Lu Tingxiao. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead. Why? Why didn't you ask me? Ask what? Ning Xi's fingers clenched into fists. Ask about that gun. You're not going to ask why I have a gun? Don't you think that I'm not like what you expected at all, that I'm very scary? Lu Tingxiao, not at all. Ning Xi, oh. Lu Tingxiao didn't continue questioning her, but Ning Xi felt extremely sorry in her heart. He had always treated her like a friend and helped her without holding back. However, she kept hiding and concealing every little thing about herself. Thus, even though Lu Tingxiao hadn't continued questioning her, Ning Xi took the initiative to speak up. You know how the public order in America isn't very good, and how having a gun is legal there. I learned how to use a gun when I was there. However, it's not legal to have guns back here in China. This gun was smuggled in through illegal channels. I don't know how it was done exactly, it was given to me by a friend, the one who taught me how to shoot. It's for the sake of self-defense only when I absolutely need it. Since I've come back to China, I've only used it just this once. Lu Tingxiao stopped all movement. What kind of person is that friend of yours? Chapter 159, You think I'm dangerous? Hearing this question, Ning Xi appeared to be little troubled. She scratched her head and said, It's the one I mentioned to you before, the ex-boyfriend that I only dated for a day. It was that man again. Since they only dated for a day, why did they seem to have interacted so much? Lu Tingxiao's expression became extremely fierce. Do you know that the channels used to smuggle in this type of gun are split between 3 factions? No matter which faction that friend of yours belongs to, they are key targets for the police. That diamond was most likely brought in through illegal means as well. Ning Xi lowered her head and mumbled, I know. You know about it. Lu Tingxiao's expression turned even uglier. She knew that and still associated with that sort of person. Knowing about the other's background meant that she was in an even more dangerous situation. Ning Xi hurriedly explained, his background might be a little dangerous. Sorry, but I can't explain his identity to you. However, he definitely won't harm me, I can be sure about that. After she finished speaking, she clearly realized that Lu Tingxiao's expression had reached the lowest point. Right then and there, Ning Xi felt like she was a naughty kid who had been caught doing something bad by their parent. She was so nervous that she pressed her fingers together and didn't dare to let out a single peep. The great Demon King was terrifying when he was angry. After a long moment, Lu Tingxiao finally said, "Give me the gun." Ning Xi's protectiveness towards that man had almost destroyed his rationality. "Okay," Ning Xi immediately handed over the gun obediently. "What are you going to do with it?" Lu Tingxiao took it mercilessly, confiscating it. Ning Xi abruptly threw herself at him and wailed in anguish, "Ah! Don't! That's my protection amulet. I promise I won't use it recklessly. I won't let anyone discover it." Lu Tingxiao looked askance at her coldly. He then opened his drawer, took out another gun and passed it to her. "Use this one from now on." Looking at the gun that Lu Tingxiao passed to her, Ning Xi's eyes immediately lit up. "This is..." She couldn't tell which model it was, but it was obvious that it was no ordinary gun. Pub Future ads. "Can I dismantle it and take a look?" Ning Xi carefully asked. After meeting the girl's shiny eyes with his gaze, Lu Tingxiao nodded. Upon getting permission, Ning Xi immediately dismantled the gun with glee. After taking it apart, she looked at the structure inside in disbelief. P226. "I made some modifications, so it's safer." Lu Tingxiao's expression was still the same. Because Ning Xi's knowledge of shooting, dismantling and assembling firearms clearly came from that man. Ning Xi stroked that gun in admiration, not wanting to let go of it at all. She cast a glance at him weakly. Someone who can get a 92F is dangerous, but since you actually managed to get a P226, aren't you?" The 92F was known as the best gun in the world, but very few people knew that it was the P226 that was actually the best gun in the world. It wasn't as popular as the 92F because it was too expensive. Upon hearing that, Lu Tingxiao's expression immediately turned cold. "You think I'm dangerous?" Ning Xi shook her head hard. "No, no, no. How could I even think that way? Big boss, you're the best. You're my angel. Are you tired? Are your shoulders sore? Let me give you a massage. Keep working hard." Without saying any more, she then ran behind him in a groveling manner and put all her energy into massaging his shoulders. When he heard the girl's sweet and gentle voice, although he knew that she was purposely coaxing and buttering him up, Lu Tingxiao's stormy expression immediately warmed up. However, he quickly turned tense again. The girl's soft hands were rubbing his shoulders with just the right amount of force. She was even massaging his neck and temples in an extremely professional manner. That warm feeling and the perfect amount of force felt very comfortable, and it was also going to be the death of him. Chapter 160, I'll feed you. That's enough. To prevent himself from losing control, Lu Tingxiao was forced to call a stop to the massage. "Okay." Ning Xi didn't think much of it and continued to study the gun. Following that, she turned to Lu Tingxiao with uncertainty and asked, "This gun? You're really giving it to me?" "Lu Tingxiao, take it as your birthday present. This gift was rather special." Ning Xi gently stroked the gun. "Thank you. I love it." The safety on this gun was indeed much better. Furthermore, it had a low-key appearance and no one would be able to tell what model it was unless they dismantled it. It was much more convenient to use. Ning Xi continued looking at the gun and couldn't help but feel a little teary. "Lu Tingxiao, thank you. No one has ever been so kind to me before." Lu Tingxiao felt slightly touched in his heart. As he was about to say something, Ning Xi spoke with emotion. "It feels a little like having a father." Lu Tingxiao. This was a rather high evaluation, but he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "It's already this late, you must be hungry. I'll make some supper for you." After Ning Xi eagerly ran out, Lu Tingxiao dismantled her old gun without batting an eyelid. As he expected, the serial number had been erased. However, this narrowed down the list of suspects again. 10 minutes later, Ning Xi walked back and carrying a steaming bowl of food. Lu Ting Xiao, are dumplings okay? I saw that there were still some remaining in the freezer from the last time we made them, so I heated some up for you. Leave it here. Sure. Seeing how busy Lu Ting Xiao was, Ning Xi felt a little sorry for troubling him. Thus, she took up the bowl. I'll feed you, okay? Lu Ting Xiao's brows furrowed together slightly. He wanted to reject her offer at first, but he couldn't bear to do so. I'll feed you, I'll feed you. Just focus on your work. Ning Xi hastily picked up a dumpling with a pair of chopsticks and carefully blew on it before sending it to his mouth. Lu Ting Xiao stared at his laptop screen with a serene expression before opening his mouth and eating that dumpling. Why didn't it taste this good the last time he ate it? Ning Xi continued feeding the dumplings to him one by one until she finished feeding him the entire bowl. Go take a break, I'm almost done here. Lu Ting Xiao returned Zhang Qiang's laptop to her and started concentrating on his own laptop. Pub future ads. Oh, okay. Ning Xi hugged the laptop and sat on the sofa in the corner. Because she was bored, she started looking through Zhang Qiang's laptop to see if she could find any leads. In the end, she actually did find something. She found a folder named Important Secrets in the D drive. Upon opening it, she discovered that there were quite a few videos in the folder. Perhaps that guy had hidden some evidence and hadn't told her? While eyeing the screen suspiciously, Ning Xi opened one of the videos. Right as she opened it, Ning Xi felt that something wasn't right. However, when she finally reacted, it was already too late. Heart-pounding moans and groans blasted out from the laptop, sounding extremely clear and distinct in the quiet study. Ning Xi. Lu Ting Xiao. Ning Xi wanted to dig a hole in the ground and bury herself in it. She kept clicking, but she couldn't close the video because she was panicking. In the end, Lu Ting Xiao couldn't bear watching any longer and walked over to help her close the video. Ning Xi threw the laptop away and complained, he had some files in a folder named Important Secrets, so I thought it was evidence. Damn! I should have known. Any suspicious folders in a man's computer would surely be that kind of thing. Seeing the girl's indignant appearance, Lu Ting Xiao pinched the space between his brows before sighing with absolute helplessness, it's done, come over and take a look. He had told her that he would finish it within one night out of selfishness, hoping that he could spend more time with her. However, if this torment continued, he didn't know what he would do.